Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in information online? You search for something and boom, millions of results pop up. But how many of them can you actually trust? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on how experts cut through all that noise to find what's real. Because we're not just searching today, we're learning how to find. See, when you do a standard search, you're wading through this big, messy sea of blogs, opinions, news stories, and a ton of ads. But what a researcher is doing, that's a whole different game. They're on a targeted hunt for something very specific. Peer-reviewed articles, academic books, original data. They're looking for credible knowledge. So, yeah, in this world of just constant digital noise, how do the experts find what's actually true? Well, they have a secret weapon. And today, we're going to learn how to use it too. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about escaping that information maze. Then we'll unlock the power of Google Scholar. After that, we'll get into how researchers think and ask questions, then learn how to follow the breadcrumbs of citations. And finally, we'll wrap up with this really powerful idea of standing on the shoulders of giants. All right, let's dive right in with that first step, escaping the information maze. You know, a normal search engine can make you feel totally lost. But there is a clear path from that feeling of overload to real academic clarity. You just have to know where to look. And that path, it leads us straight to our second point, unlocking Google Scholar. Now, this isn't just another search bar. Think of it more like a key to a hidden library containing the world's most rigorous research. Okay, so what is this thing exactly? Well, to put it simply, Google Scholar is a totally free search engine built for one thing and one thing only, to find scholarly literature. It's designed to filter out all that noise and take you right to the source. And what kind of sources are we talking about here? We're talking about the heavy hitters, the real deal, peer-reviewed journal articles, academic books and book chapters, theses from universities, and papers from academic conferences. This is the stuff that the bedrock of our knowledge is built on. But you know, just having access is only half the battle. To really unlock the power of a tool like this, we have to learn to think like a researcher. We have to learn how they ask questions and turn everyday opinions into something that can actually be researched. Let's take a classic debate, right? Why cats make better pets than dogs? Now, this is a fun topic, but look at how it's framed. It's an opinion. It's informal. It's emotional. A researcher can't really work with this. There's nothing to measure here. So the big question is, how do we transform this passionate argument into a question that we can actually dig into and research? Well, you do this. You shift the language. Instead of why cats are better, it becomes a comparative analysis of cats and dogs as companion animals. See what we did there? The language is suddenly more formal, more precise. It's not about winning an argument anymore. It's about understanding the subject. And that right there is the secret sauce. Academic language strips away the emotion. The whole point is to be formal, neutral, and based entirely on evidence and research, not just, what we feel in our gut. So let's actually put this into practice. You pop over to scholar.google.com. Instead of typing a whole question, you use neutral keywords, something like cats, dogs, companionship. Then you can use the advanced search feature to really home in on what you want. Like you can set a date range to only find studies from the last few years. This is how you get super relevant, timely results. Now, once you've got your search results, a whole new journey begins. And this is where we get to my favorite part, following the citation trail. Finding one great article is awesome, but its real power lies in seeing the academic conversation that it's a part of. So let's say you find this paper. Looks promising, right? Feline social behavior. But, it's from 1998. That was a while ago. Is it even still relevant? And then you spot it. This little link down below that says cited by, followed by a number. In this case, 120. Now, whatever you do, don't just scroll past this. This little link is maybe one of the most powerful tools in all of research, seriously. So what on earth does cited by actually mean? Well, think of it like a roadmap into the future. It literally shows you every single newer paper that used this 1998 article as a building block for their own work. It's a direct link to what happened next. Getting a high cited by number, that's a huge deal. It's basically a big flashing sign that tells you that other experts in the field thought this work was important, respected, and useful enough to build their own research on top of it. Clicking that link is like asking, okay, so what happened next in this conversation? And following these trails, this leads us to our final and, honestly, the most profound idea of all. This isn't just about search tricks anymore. This is about understanding how knowledge itself is actually built. It's about standing on the shoulders of giants. You've probably heard this famous phrase before, often credited to Isaac Newton. And in the world of research, it's not just some nice saying, it's the entire philosophy. It's how everything works. So what does that really mean in practice? Well, it means nobody, and I mean nobody, starts from scratch. Every new discovery is built on the foundation of what came before. Researchers read, they learn, they question, and they try to improve upon earlier studies. And that little cited by button, that is you watching that exact process happen in real time. And that's when it all clicks. You realize that research isn't just some dusty, static library of facts. It's a living, breathing conversation that spans decades, even centuries, with every new study adding its voice to the dialogue. So by learning how to use a tool like Google Scholar and really getting the logic behind it, you're not just finding information anymore, you've basically just been handed the key to listen in on and maybe even one day join that incredible ongoing conversation. So the only question left for you is this. Now that you know how to find them, whose shoulders will you choose to stand on?